Hello, and thanks for joining us today on Envision. I'm Deanne Conrad, Community Relations Supervisor, and we are talking about some exciting news in the Sioux Falls School District. This is something we've been watching for several months, our graduation rate. You have said from the beginning of your time here that our graduation rate is not acceptable. We need to keep chipping away and increase that. We have some good news in that regard.
We do. First of all, I think our community said that's not acceptable. When we talked about the graduation rate in our community, we would hear this gasp
Right.
of, boy, that's not okay. And we're still not where we need to be, but we took a big step this last year.
Yeah, we started out at 80.5?
80.55.
80.55.
Yep.
Don't want to forget that last five.
Right.
But made great gains.
Made great gains. We've gone up to 83.85. So we increased the graduation rate by 3.3% from last year to this year. And that is a heavy lift. I'm very, very proud of and very pleased with all the folks in the high schools and really K-12. But for this first year, the folks in the high schools really put in a lot of effort and energy to working with individual students to make sure that they got them to that graduation day.
So when we talk about 3.3% increase, I know I've heard you equate that to a number. That's not just a percentage, but that's actual graduates.
Right. There are, I think it's nice when I go out and speak to civic groups. It's nice to put up bar graphs and show growth year over year, and that's all good. But when we're talking about graduation rate, we're talking about kids. We're talking about 57 students, it's actually 57.6 students, who have a degree this year, who if had things not changed, wouldn't have had a degree. That's so meaningful. I got some information from a LEADS report done in 2007 at Columbia University, and it talks in there about the financial impact of the high school diploma. Not only does the student gain a financial impact because now they have a degree or a diploma, they might also be able to go to a tech school, a community college, the armed forces, a college or university. Their world really opened up to them because they now have a diploma. But also, they're less likely to go on any programs that the public will spend money on, any welfare programs, those sorts of things. So there's a tremendous savings to the public and tremendous earnings power to the student. So financially, there's a great thing there.
Absolutely.
So that's just a really, really good thing for our students, for our community, and for our state.
Yeah, we celebrate this, but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
we can sit back and say, oh, this is our new model and there's nothing more to do. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do.
I talked to our principals. That's such a good point. I talked to our principals after the word came out, and it was a celebratory meeting. I just thanked them and congratulated them. And then I said, if we're an Etch-a-Sketch, maybe I'm too old, I don't know if
No,
they,
that's
they
right,
still have
Etch-a-Sketch.
Etch-a-Sketches, or you can draw them, and then you can clear it and you can start all over. Well, if our Etch-a-Sketch, we said 80.55 and we put plus 3.33, we'd be pretty happy. But then if we cleared it and we just put on there and didn't have any other knowledge of where we've been, if we just put on there 83.85, would we be happy with that? I think the answer is no.
Right.
So our work isn't done, but our trajectory is good and our momentum is good. I'm really pleased with where we are compared to where we were a year ago, and I'm really pleased with the momentum we have going.
Absolutely. So that work continues on a daily basis to encourage school attendance so that students can learn at the level they need to learn, achieve that high school diploma, and become successful as adults as well. So
I should mention one other thing before we go.
Absolutely.
When we look at the graduation rates, here's why I know our buildings did things right. We improved in every area that our state looks at in terms of subcategories, regardless of race, ethnicity, regardless of socioeconomic status. So if you looked at, and I won't mention them all, but if you looked at white students, black students, Hispanic students, Native American students, Asian students, mixed race students, every category increased in graduation rates. In fact, from a socioeconomic standpoint, our students who are on the lower end of the socioeconomic status increased their graduation rate by 6%.
wow.
So we as a school district really have a lot to be proud of in terms of the effort of making that needle move.
Absolutely. Well, that is good news to hear, and hopefully more of that good news to come in terms of graduation rate and helping students be successful. Thanks for joining us today on Envision.